All right, welcome to the Media Center at the CPKC Women's Open. I'm joined here by three-time champion Lydia Ko. Lydia, just talking about this event, what are you most excited for, especially after being a three-time champion, having a lot of memories here?
Yeah, I always love coming back to Canada. You know, as one of my first few events as an amateur playing an LPGA event, and I was able to get a sponsor's invite in 2012 and, won in Vancouver. So that was, winning in 2012 and 2013 was kind of like my route to the LPGA. So always grateful and, a lot of great memories coming here. And, the Canadian fans have always been very supportive. So, yeah, love being here. It's a new golf course, so getting adjusted to, this course. But, yeah, Canada is a very special place for me.
And touching back on some of those memories you just mentioned, can you describe some of them to us, especially maybe thinking back to your 2012, 2013 wins?
Yeah, I think at that time in 2012, I had won the U.S. Women's Amateur a couple weeks prior, so I was kind of on a career high and, excited to play an LPGA event alongside the best female golfers. And, I think the coolest thing, one of the coolest thing was like Christina Kim came out to me on the putting green at Vancouver and gave me a big hug for winning the Women's Am. So I was like, wow, I would love to be, part of this, group of, golfers. And, now I'm here today. And, every time, I come back, I think the fans have been great. And one of actually my best memories was I played I played first as a one ball last year on the last day. And, so many people came out to watch me play. And I honestly thought it would be just like my caddy and I and, my sister and my husband that was there watching. There were so many more people than I'd anticipated. So, I've gotten a lot of love, in my results, but also, from the fans.
And one last question for me, then I'll open it up here in the Media Center. If there's anyone on the Zoom, please let me know in the chat you have a question. But we're also celebrating this year the 50th anniversary of this event. To talk about the importance of this event, and especially, like you said, all the memories that you have involved with it. But how important is this event to you?
I think Golf Canada and everybody involved has always put in a lot of effort to make this championship what it is. I think we get to go and play some of the most beautiful and great golf courses all around Canada, and whether it's hospitality to the volunteers to our dining and everything, and even the Golf Town trailer they have this week. I think they have continuously elevated this event, and it's definitely one of, I think, the favorite spots, for all of us players. Obviously a little unique this year, with the Olympics in a couple weeks, but, all in all, I think this is one of, the best stops for us, on the LPGA. So it's great that, we can celebrate the 50th year. I honestly thought the Canadian Open has been on for longer. It just feels like there's a lot of history, but, seeing all the kind of the entryway into the putting green and seeing all the past champions' names there is pretty cool. And to have, the trophy next to my name on Paul's bib is awesome as well.
Awesome. Well, we'll open it up here in the Media Center. Please raise your hand if you have a question, and a mic will be brought to you. Go in the front here with Todd first.
Todd Saloff, Calgary Sun, Calgary Herald. I was in Vancouver, actually, when you won that first one, covering you, one of the first people to talk to you after that amateur and after that victory. But what is it about Canada that just sparks you in these events?
I think Canada reminds me a lot of New Zealand, especially some of the rural residential areas where when I feel like I'm in America, I know I'm in the U.S., but, when I go to some areas of Canada, it really feels like home. So I think that's always something that I've kind of taken away from, being in Canada. I don't know why Canada has given me so much love and, given me the opportunity to be a past champion, 3 times. But yeah, I always love coming here, and golf has grown a lot, I think, in Canada since even my first time here, and it's obviously that's the help of players like Brooke who are putting the Canadian flag up on the leaderboard week in, week out. So there's just a lot of like more attention to golf. But yeah, I don't know what about Canada that, you know, brings out, you know, a lot of the positive and smiles, but I always enjoy my time here, and there's always a lot of good food, and, you know, food is a big key for me, so yeah.
What's your take on this course, and what do you think it's gonna how a winner's gonna be delivered here this week?
I think the fairways aren't like the narrowest fairways I've seen, but they are on the narrower side. And you know, the rough has gotten thicker, I think, even since yesterday. So being on the fairways is key. And you know, these greens aren't massive, so if you are in the rough, it could be, you know, quite difficult to get close to him or even, you know, get on the green. So yeah, I think, you know, being really consistent off the tee, and you know, and that's gonna just give you a better chance of hitting the greens. So tee shots are probably the most important factor around here.
All right, Adam.
Lydia, do you feel like you maybe had a bit of a tale of two seasons? Obviously, you came out of the gate so hot, and then, you know, maybe not some of the best results of late. But is it just one of those things where it's just golf and you kind of go through ebbs and flows?
No, it's been weird. You know, if I look back at my past 11-ish years, you know, I've had seasons where I don't really start great, and then I, you know, start playing well more towards the fall, and then so it's kind of almost creeped more forward as the years have gone by. But you know, just to say you have a good stretch of events at any point in the season is very good. You know, obviously as players, our goal is to be more and more consistent, you know, throughout the season, and that's part of our job. But even though the last few weeks haven't been great, I feel like I've made a lot of progress since like May, where I really was struggling and had a lot of questions. So I feel like I'm going in the right direction, and you know, we have our last major and, you know, the Olympics coming up, so it's definitely moving in the right direction. You know, with golf, I don't think there's anything guaranteed, and you know, you could miss 5 cuts in a row and win the next week. It's what Shen T did, I think, winning Portland last year, and that's just the beauty and cruel side of golf, and that just shows how difficult it is. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep working at it, but yeah, I feel like I'm going in the right direction.
And completely kind of off the golf course, obviously, I saw on Instagram you and your sister and Brooke and Brittany had a nice time over in Evian. I'm just curious if you can talk a little bit about your relationship with Brooke, your friendship with Brooke, and maybe how she's been able to handle everything that comes along with this tournament over the last number of years.
Yeah, you know, I was just talking to her agent Brian, and you know, I was like, busy week, and he's like, yeah, you know, and I mean, if busy for him obviously means it's very busy for Brooke. You know, she is the star of, you know, Canada, and I think she has the most wins or something of all the Canadian golfers, and you know, that's a lot of weight on your shoulders. But I feel like she, when she won at, was it Regina, a few years ago, she was able to put all that pressure kind of behind her and just focus on her. You know, she's an unbelievable golfer and an unbelievable athlete, and one of the nicest players on tour. So it was nice for us after the tournament ended on Sunday, for the Henderson sisters and the co-sisters to go have pizza and, you know, go to Lausanne, and we honestly went there and just came back. But I don't really go out and socialize very much, especially during a tournament week. And they said they hadn't gone out once, and we were on the same boat. So I said, hey, why don't we just go and have pizza? And they recommended going to Lausanne as well. So we had a great time. And I think, you know, she's one of the players that I've known for a long time, even since we were amateurs. So it's, you know, I feel like our friendship has grown, you know, playing alongside each other, competing alongside each other, and, you know, going to dinner like this. We haven't gone to dinner very much. I think the last time we had dinner was like 5-7 years ago. So we're trying to make it a little less term than that one, but always enjoy, you know, their company.
Russ?
Yeah, Lawrence Heinen with Canadian Press. You won twice at the Vancouver Golf Club, and then once in
Royal Mayfair, I
yeah,
think.
and then in Edmonton, and then finished 4th in Ottawa. Can you just talk about like this tournament? You know, it spans all of Canada and playing at different tournaments all the time. Like how you know, the uniqueness of it.
Yeah, we have a few events where, we keep rotating, like the US Women's Open, KPMG. A lot of the golf courses that we've actually gone to play the Canadian Open has a KPMG Women's PGA Championship like kind of style golf course. It's nice to get, a refreshing look at some of these new golf courses, and also, return to golf courses like we played at Ottawa Hunt, because the last time I was there, I missed the cut, so it was definitely a much better result a couple of years ago. But we get to, like, Canada gets to showcase their best golf courses all around the country, and we get to experience different cities. So it's a win-win, I think. But yeah, Vancouver has been especially nice. So I remember joking that Coquitlam should be KO, not CO. Yeah.
And then, you talk about Ottawa. You finished 4th there. Seeing this golf course, do you feel you can win again?
I hope so. I'm, always competing every week, with the intention and hope to, be the one that's hoisting the trophy at the end of the week. I think there's been some weeks where I feel super confident and it hasn't really gone my way, and weeks where I don't feel too good and I have a pretty good result. So it's just, I think when you're under the gun and you're playing in the moment, your adrenaline and everything kicks in. It's a little bit different, but no, it is a really good golf course, and I think you need to be really precise around this course. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit more, after all this, and but I am excited to be here.
Any other questions?
Yes. Lydia, this is Moses Woldu with Global News. My question for you, of course, history could be made for yourself, being one of the youngest members to at least be eligible for the LPGA Hall of Fame with a win. You've talked about the success you've had at the Canadian Open. What would it mean to kind of put that feather in your cap on a course and an event that you've had so much success and so much love from what we hear?
Yeah, it's where it started for me, and if I can get that last point at where the tournament, where it really started for me, and as championship wise, it would mean a lot. I think when I played the Canadian Women's Open at Vancouver Golf Club in 2012, I didn't know I was gonna win. I just wanted to make the cut and just enjoy my time playing with the professionals, and I almost wish I was a little older winning my first one, because now every win is a little bit more meaningful. Whereas then I was 15 and I was probably just excited to have dinner, after the press conference and you guys like asking me questions more so than, the tournament itself. So I wish in ways I could go back to that moment and really enjoy it, and that feeling of walking down the 18th hole. But yeah, if I can, get not that it would be like my last event, but like my the last point to get into the Hall of Fame here at the Canadian Women's Open, it would be, very special. And, at that point, if I win one more time here, I should get like free citizenship or something. Yeah.
All right, any other questions here? We'll move to the Zoom. Beth Ann, I believe you have some questions if you'd like to unmute.
Yes. Hi, Lydia.
I don't know where to look for this, but okay, yeah. Hey, Beth Ann.
I'm coming down from the sky. What memorabilia do you have sitting around the house from those wins in 2012 and 13? Anything special?
To be honest, I don't have like anything special from then. I obviously have like my replica trophies, but I remember, wearing red and black, especially in my first win, because of like it being Canadian, colors, but also channel the inner Tiger Woods in me or something. So I remember growing up, a lot of my like passwords were like mini Tiger. So I did put out a red and black outfit this week on Sunday, but I'm not the type to like keep little things or like badges from events, so I don't really have anything else from it. But a lot of good memories, in my head.
Awesome. And then one more. I see Paris on your shirt there. When do you head over that way, and who will be going with you? And do you plan on taking in any other sporting events while you're there?
Yeah, I'm heading there on Friday next week, and get there Saturday. So, yeah, it's kind of, even though it'd be nice to go there early and experience that the Olympic culture, and maybe watch a few different sports. Playing this week, I wanted to make sure I had enough rest before I got there, and made sure that when I'm there, then I'm also it's just like any other event, and trying to compete and just get ready for Wednesday. I'm just going there with my sister again. She's been there at the last two, and it was just us two and a high performance manager in Tokyo. So it's honestly going to be the same team, and there's two male New Zealand golfers that's competing, so I'll probably go and watch them play as well. But yeah, keeping it simple. As much as the Olympics is special and it comes only every 4 years, I'm trying to treat it, not really differently, whether it's like my routine or anything to any other event. I think I should still do the same preparation and everything. And, I'm super excited that this is my third Olympics, and I may not be super athletic, but I can say I'm an Olympian and an Olympic medalist, which is always something that I'm very proud of, and excited to, give it another run this year.
Oh, just one more if I could. Where do the medals sit?
There actually, one is in my parents' wardrobe cabinet, and I think that's the Rio one, and the other one, the Tokyo Olympics bronze, is in Korea. So I honestly haven't seen it since I've been on the podium on both cases, but yeah, I think when I finally get settled in and have like a real home base, I would like to kind of like put it out and make my little trophy room alongside the trophies for this week.
Where is it in Korea?
It's at my sister's place. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beth Ann. I think we have one more question here with TSN.
Yeah, Salim Valji from TSN. Lydia, like kind of like Brooke, you had the weight of the world on your shoulders publicly, like growing up in this sport, and just how have you handled it? How have you sort of handled the mental element of it when there is that pressure on someone at such a young age, and social media and all of that comes with that?
Yeah, I think it's never easy. You grow up playing the sport, and all you're trying to do, and your only really ultimate goal is to just try and compete at the highest and shoot the best score you can. But when you start playing well, there are other things that kind of come into the equation. But I think for most parts, and I'm sure Brooke will say the same, we're very grateful for all the support and love we've gotten. Yes, there might be a couple negative comments or extra things that you have to do during a week, but I think we're grateful that we're able to, I guess, compete at the highest level in our sport, and have some of our dreams and goals come true. And I think for the 95% of the time, like, our job is great, and we get to travel a lot. So there are tougher moments, and especially by the end of the year, there's definitely mental and physical fatigue. But when you're at the tournament and you're focusing on your goals and what you're trying to achieve, I think you end up kind of riding that adrenaline, so you're less worried or, I guess, hindered by some of the extra things. But yeah, I definitely know that probably by after the British Open, and I'll have 3 weeks off, it's gonna be nice to just like have my legs up and not go, okay, I need to go to the gym at 9, and like all these different things. And that's why the great thing about our job is that we have the luxury to be able to pick and choose, some of the events we want to play and times where we want to take time off. And I think it's really important to be really smart on knowing when your body needs that a bit of a breather, and you can, you know, be refreshed for the next event.
Great. Thank you so much, Lydia. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.